Hey everybody, welcome back to the DLF Trade Show, a wonderfully happy member of the DLF. We still haven't come up with something, YouTube
Nope.
channel. But while we're talking about our YouTube channel, subscribe, smash that subscribe button as all of those really loud people that my kids listen to on YouTube. Hit that bell so you get notified when we drop a new video. I don't. They're all
You got
so
it all down. You
obnoxious.
got it. You got it.
It's the worst. They all just scream. Um, as I'm about to start yelling about Zeke Elliott, who we're talking about today. But hey, I am your host, Russ Fisher at Dynasty Outhouse. He is your host, Addison Hayes, at Amaze Hayes _ On the DLF Trade Show, we'd like to take you on a 360 tour of a single player's value. And like I spoiler alerted a few seconds ago, we are doing Zeke Elliott. I believe this was another request from the comments on prior videos, right?
Yes, it was. This was another one. It was the same thing that we did from, last week we had that trade with Stephon Diggs, and it was
Yes.
Stephon Diggs and Ezekiel Elliott were kind of the two big names in that. So we're not going to run through that same trade. So
I
if
was
you
about to
want
say
to run through that
thank you
trade,
for not putting that exact same trade on here because that would just really not be a good move.
yeah. So if you want to check that out, that's on last week's Stephon Diggs show. And we're just going to do Ezekiel Elliott like we normally would any other player without any viewer commented trades.
And if this is your first week checking us out, A, thank you. B, just go back to the beginning and watch all of them. Don't just watch last week. Who cares that trade value has absolutely changed for the months that we've been doing this? It's fun. We're awesome. And you just want to be part of the entire thing that is the DLF Trade Show.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into Zeke Elliott. Okay. Slow down. Yes. Awesome. So the way we like to do this is on our normal days, which they aren't all normal, we like to give equivalencies in trades of same position, other position, quarterbacks and superflex, and then my favorite part, horrible trades. So we are going to start with running back upgrades / downgrades. So running back equivalencies. We start with a 12-team superflex league. And this trade is Ezekiel Elliott for Joe Mixon and a 22 first. DLF Trade Analyzer has Zeke Elliott at 422.9, which is just so low. 22 third at 32.9. For a total of 455.9. Joe Mixon 368.7 and a 22 first at 253.3. Okay, I need to talk about Zeke Elliott first. His ADP is 37. 30. What did he do to fall down to 37?
Superflex 37.
No, don't care. What did he do to fall out of 24? He should be a top tier. What? He finished as what? The RB
was bad without Dak Prescott.
RB10 is bad.
And now he's 26.
I'm not buying it. That's ridiculous. You're all wrong. It's funny because I do the mocks for DLF. I do best ball stuff. I haven't done a startup in a while. Thank you very much. Well, thank you to myself. I end up with a lot of Zeke because I still value him. I'm not going to be silly and value him with Saquon and CMC anymore, but he's the top of my second tier. And I end up with him in the second or third round every single draft I do, just because, especially if we're talking just for this season, which I know we're not. Now we're talking Dynasty. He's still awesome on a team that is going to use him a lot. That being said, let's get into this exact trade because I know I'm just going to keep saying the same stuff over and over again about how much I like Zeke more than consensus. All right. Zeke in a third for Mixon and a first. If there was a bigger age difference between the two of them, I would feel better about it. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of Joe Mixon. I have been also trying to obtain shares of Mixon as well. I don't think like this, though. Like, I get, given the actual values in the analyzer, this is a very good trade. I think I forgot to say the other side's total because this comes in at 622 to 455.9, in which case this leans heavily towards the Mixon side. I'm a little glad that they valued Zeke at where they should be doing it, where it's a little higher than what this all equals out to. If you believe in Mixon, if you are a strong believer in Mixon, this is very cool for you. Getting a guy who you think probably won't really we always like to throw that 80% number, like getting 80% of Zeke's production and then getting a first on top. You bought a year, which is why I said it would be cooler if he was a couple of years younger. But you bought a year for whatever that means, and you got that first. I like it in theory. I would choose Elliott because I don't know if I would accept this trade if I had Zeke. And honestly, I don't really know if I would send this for Zeke. If I was, I would. I lied. I'm going to take that back. So this completely means I'm on the Zeke side because I don't think I would send Zeke for that, and I think I would be okay sending Mixon and a first for Zeke because I feel like the production is more guaranteed, even if you're not getting that much more. How about you?
Wow.
I said a lot. I am sorry.
No, I'm so on the Mixon side here. We're on like complete opposites. And
good. It's about damn time. We agree a lot.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I'm completely on the Mixon side here. And I think Mixon and Zeke to me are pretty similar. I mean, they're similarly valued. If you look at the ADP, Mixon's going at the 3-4 turn, or Zeke's going at 3-4 turn, and Mixon's just a few spots behind him, 37 to 41. Yeah. So they're valued pretty similarly in ADP. And then the first is that major difference, and really where the biggest difference, if you look at the trade analyzer values comes from is because of that first, basically. Yeah. So to me, I mean, I think that this is very heavily the Joe Mixon side because, like you said, I don't even think that I'm a Mixon truther. Like I kind of have Mixon fatigue. I also kind of have Ezekiel Elliott fatigue, and I think a lot of people also do as well, just because this is his 6th year in the league. We haven't really seen like an ultra high ceiling from him. He's always just been safe. Like he's never killed you. He's been like RB 10 to 12, and he's very comfortable, but he's not like flashy anymore. He's not super fun. And he last year he showed what he could do with Dak, and then he had a really bad second half of the season without Dak. And then Tony Pollard's now coming in. The Cowboys are talking about they don't want to or don't need to give Ezekiel Elliott like 20 plus carries.
Blah, blah.
But and so I think it leans heavily onto the Mixon side because, like I said, I'm not even a Mixon truther, but like I see where if Mixon can stay healthy, he had a career high in targets last year. Giovanni Bernard is gone. He just needs, to be healthy, and he's going to get the volume to sustain, like a top 15 type of a running back season at least. So if you're getting RB 9 or 10 from Zeke and RB 13 or 14 from Mixon, the first is a massive difference between the two of them, and it's way too much to add on to Mixon if that's the type of season that we're talking about for both of them. So that's why I lean very heavily the Mixon side. And I'm surprised that you're almost strongly on the opposite side.
I might just be overvaluing Zeke, and honestly, I'm a little okay with that. But it's also okay that you're wrong because it happens every once in a while. All right, let's move on to our next trade. Hold on. See, I'm like getting a little choked up that I just called you wrong. Like I felt so bad about it. The next trade is a 12-team, 1 quarterback league where we have Zeke Elliott, Devin Singletary, and a 22 third for J.K. Dobbins. All right. Well, in a 1 quarterback league, the analyzer has Zeke at 665.5, poor Devin Singletary at 65.2, a third at 32.9, and J.K. Dobbins at 647.4. If you told me Zeke and Dobbins straight up, I mean, I wouldn't feel great about it, but I guess I get it. I
wouldn't feel great because you'd rather have Zeke. I'm assuming if you'd rather have Zeke,
I just meant like
Mixon.
looking at the trade itself, not my personal trade.
Yeah,
like if I saw it come across, I would absolutely rather have Zeke. To me, the extra stuff is on the wrong side, and I guess the analyzer agrees with it too, even though they're pretty much back to back. So. Again, I'm taking the Zeke side. I don't even really care. You can keep Singletary in the third and just give me Zeke over Dobbins. But again, like I said before, you're gaining 4 years. That's pretty much what this comes down to. Like, if you could have done Dobbins in the first for Zeke, I would have felt better about it because you're getting younger, you're getting the pick. But I'm going to take Zeke here. I mean, if you're rebuilding, you don't do it through running backs. We've talked about that a lot. So getting younger at running back is just sort of whatever. But I'm going to take Zeke. I mean, Devin Singletary is what he is. I'm never going to feel safe using him, and a third is a third. So Zeke for Dobbins, I'll take Zeke.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Dobbins is not the person. I'm not a Dobbins person really all that much either. Like I think that he's he has a stronger possibility to be closer to RB20 than he does RB10, where I think Zeke is much more likely to fall. So the buying years is nice because, J.K. Dobbins, no matter what he does, basically is not going to lose value. Zeke's going to lose value from here on out. Dobbins isn't really. And especially, and you can make the argument too that, like, if Gus Edwards were to get hurt or miss significant time, or maybe he gets, released, or they let his contract expire, like, J.K. Dobbins is going to the moon in value because of his projected workload. So there is that. That is nice. I do agree with you that I feel like the extra stuff's on the wrong side. Even though the extra stuff, in my opinion, is not really all that great.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Singletary and a third. But yeah, I thought this was weird whenever I saw it, that it was Zeke and a bunch of extra stuff for J.K. Dobbins. But there are people out there, and this is kind of like, J.K. Dobbins is one of those guys where it just seems like his value is a lot higher in the community than where his production might actually fall. And so this could be a testament to both Zeke's value and J.K. Dobbins' value. I know we did a whole video on J.K. as well, and we both kind of agreed that he's overvalued right now and would probably be a really good sell. And I think this is just another trade that kind of shows that as well.
Absolutely. And I am a J.K. Dobbins guy, the player himself. His situation is not great. He's going to need a lot of touchdowns in order to get up there in the RB ranks. But one thing, you said you don't think that J.K. Dobbins' value will go down. In one quarterback, his ADP is 26. If he comes in at RB20, you don't think his value's going down?
No,
I don't. No, legitimately asking, because that's like
look at Zeke's one quarterback ADP is 15 right now, so he's going like a whole round ahead of J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah,
this is from July as well, but so I'd be interested to see how August shakes out, because I know that that's kind of being formulated out right now. Yeah, like I don't think JK can't ever go down, in my opinion. Even if he gets hurt, his ADP and value next year should probably be around the same where it is right now. Whereas if Zeke has a down year, or if Zeke even gets hurt, if Zeke tore his ACL this year, he is screwed, value-wise, because now we're talking about a 27-year-old running back coming off of an ACL injury. And then, we only know what Tony Pollard would be able to do in a whole entire volume of the Cowboys offense by himself. So yeah, that would be detrimental to Zeke, whereas JK can survive it, if not even hold value for major injuries like that.
And real quick before we move on, I know this is insanely small sample size, but in the mock I am in for one quarterback, I took Zeke at the 208 at RB10, and JK Dobbins went off the board at 310 as RB15. So pretty much the same as what it was last month.
Yeah, still about around different. Yeah.
And honestly, again, I bought Zeke a little earlier than most will. Like I said, the average will probably bring him down a little bit. Whew. All right. So that we talked about that trade, right? Yes, we did. So let's move on to wide receiver equivalents. Ooh, straight up Zeke. 12 team, one quarterback, start 3 wide receivers. Zeke Elliott for Devontae Adams. Every ounce of my being is picking Devontae Adams right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. You have to start 3 wide receivers, which make wide receivers more important. I get that they're easier to replace than running backs, but what's the difference between a 28-year-old wide receiver and a 26-year-old running back? A 26-year-old running back is probably closer to the end of their prime, where Devontae Adams just got into his. And right. I know we in the community are nuts for writing off people, wide receivers, once they become 28. But Devontae Adams was literally just the wide receiver one, and nothing has changed to make that not be able to happen again.
Yeah, literally do that again.
Exactly. So this to me is super easily Devontae Adams. He is technically drafted one spot after Zeke Elliott in the ADP that's on the screen, but 665 for Zeke, 720 for Devontae Adams. Again, Adams all day.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And again, that ADP is from July. The August ADP, I don't know if the beginning of the drafts would have caught the Aaron Rodgers news with him actually like coming back for 2021 for sure. But if you were to have drafts now with the Aaron Rodgers news, in your minds, Devontae Adams would be in one quarterback leagues a top 5 pick probably.
That's a little tough. No, running backs are going first. He went 204. Okay, let's talk about the wide receivers that went before him. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, CD Lamb, Calvin Ridley. Love that he's going ahead of Devontae Adams just because that's my guy. So Devontae Adams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wide receiver 7.
Wow. That was with the Aaron Rodgers news?
No, it was probably before it. It was August. It was 3 days ago. I have no idea when the Aaron Rodgers news happened.
That draft was 3 days ago?
This draft started 3 days ago.
Oh, then it definitely. Well, I don't know if it should have.
Oh, I have no idea.
The Aaron Rodgers stuff was. Wait, when?
Over the weekend, wasn't it?
Over the weekend, I thought. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. This is coming out later anyway, so there's no reason to really look at it. But still, it was before Zeke, and again, I bought on Zeke a little bit. We think compared to consensus, so I'm all about the Adams side.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so let's move on to 10-team, 1 quarterback. Zeke in a second for Mike Evans and a first. Zeke, we have talked about 642.9. The second at 91.3. Mike Evans 426.3, and the first at 253.3. So total, Zeke side 734.2, Evans side 679.6. Which side are you taking on this one, Addison?
I think this one I take the Zeke side. I don't think Evans is enough of a bridge between the first for me to pull the trigger on trading Zeke for a wide receiver. I think that's kind of where I land. I need like a bigger, like a higher valued wide receiver. I'm trying to I don't even know if DJ Moore would get it done at this point. It would probably have to be, it would probably have to be DJ Moore. DJ Moore
and Mike Evans are that differently valued?
The community says so. The community hates Mike Evans,
and it's absolutely silly.
So
what does that man have to do besides breaking NFL records of 1,000-yard seasons?
Right, exactly, and still playing with Tom Brady. So, I don't think that this is enough for me. And of course, you're adding the second onto Zeke, so the second and the first, isn't that huge of a value gap unless that ends up being like the 101 and the 212. But this is also a 1 quarterback league, so that definitely changes the first round values as well in terms of who you're getting and when. And then I would take Zeke over Mike Evans. The difference for me between Zeke and Mike Evans is a lot bigger to me than the difference between a first and a second for next year.
And so especially in a 10-team, that's really I was going back and forth. I'm like, the first thing I thought was, well, maybe if we didn't add that second, if it was just Zeke for Evans and a first, and then I thought, am I really going to let that stop a trade? Am I really not going to trade away Zeke because someone wants a second back? No, I wouldn't do that. Oh, wait, 10 teams. All right. Well, what's easier to replace? Zeke's value in a 10-team starting lineup or Mike Evans and whatever that first is going to be? Again, 1 quarterback, it's going to have to be a very early pick to be a high-valued player. Yeah, because quarterbacks just really, really help push back the value of skill position players in rookie drafts. The answer to me is Zeke, and it hurts my soul because I love Mike Evans and I love draft picks. But in a 10-team league, you want that stud. You want that guy that you can't replace so easily. And to me, that is Zeke over Mike Evans. And the first is nice, but the lesser amount of teams in a league, the lesser I necessarily care about picks.
Yep. Yeah, 100. I have a Mike Evans share in my 10-team home dynasty league, and I would 100% trade Mike Evans in a first for Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. Go send it out. See what happens.
I might. Although I've already talked to the Zeke owner about getting Zeke, and I've heard him combinations of Evans and Josh Jacobs, and he doesn't really go for that. So I don't know if Evans in the first would be that any different.
Probably won't work.
Yeah.
Oh baby, let's get on to this QB trade in Superflex. This is fun.
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott and Sam Darnold for Trevor Lawrence. Zeke Elliott 422.9, Sam Darnold 171.6 after the package adjustment 564.8. Trevor Lawrence 805.6 with an ADP of 9.75. Whew. That first round quarterback feeling. All right.
A 240 point difference. Like that's a first rounder.
That
You
is
needed
literally
to
a
have
first
added
rounder.
a first rounder as well on top of Zeke and Sam Darnold.
Okay, here's my thing. This is tough. Okay, just because he's a rookie, it scares me. Like, if it were even Herbert, who I get, we just kind of wrote him off a little too easily. Like, we thought he was good. We didn't think he was great. When if he just came out the year before, he would have been the first quarterback taken, except for when Kyler showed up.
Yeah.
But like, if this were Herbert instead, I would smash this. I would send away Zeke and Darnold for Herbert or any of those guys that go before him. The fact that it's Trevor Lawrence and we haven't seen him play in the NFL scares me a little bit. But if I make this trade, the things I can do with Trevor Lawrence afterwards.
Dude, you have the golden ticket in your hand, dude.
You can, I mean, even if your goal is to get out of Zeke, or it's like maybe you're rebuilding, in which case, no better piece to have on your team than Trevor Lawrence. You can get anything you want, short of Patrick Mahomes. That's probably it. That's the only thing you can't get right now. So yeah, I take the Trevor Lawrence side, even though I probably won't feel great about it because it's the right answer and it's something I feel like I would need to do.
This to me is so easily the Trevor Lawrence side. And I mean, if this is a trade that you don't want to do, like you said, I feel the same way. And I think that's kind of weird just because Trevor Lawrence is valued there as like already like a top 8 quarterback in Superflex. But like we haven't seen it. The production hasn't been there. I'm actually kind of worried about the Jaguars offense just in general with Urban Meyer. I don't think that's really going to hurt Trevor Lawrence for Dynasty and stuff. But like that initial production might be like a little hard to bear sometimes. But like you said, like if this was Justin Herbert, smash. Dak Prescott, smash.
Yep.
If this was like Lamar, Kyler, Josh Allen, I know that that's getting really high now, but like that's like smash. But Trevor Lawrence,
yeah, but I mean, we're already talking about 9th pick. That's not that far off.
He's already up there. He's a first round Dynasty Superflex asset. Just picks behind those other guys that I already mentioned. And so it is kind of funny that we have that kind of mindset that this is like it's like, oh, it's Trevor Lawrence. I'd much rather have Justin Herbert, but the value is there, and you can turn Trevor Lawrence, like you said, into anything else that you want.
The second I did this, I would go, hey, Trevor Lawrence in a second for Herbert.
What'd be really fun is that you could, if you wanted to, if you traded Zeke and Sam Darnold, you might be like, crap, you're like, I'm out 2 whole starters now because Sam Darnold was my QB2 and I just went to Trevor Lawrence. But you could break Trevor Lawrence back down into, you could probably break him down into Ryan Tannehill and like Antonio Gibson. And then you
just pulled the exact same 2 people I was about to say. I literally went like Tannehill and like, what's a solid RB2? Antonio Gibson probably fits in there.
Yeah.
Weird.
Or like, yeah, I love it. I love it. So yeah, you could like literally do that, and then you just upgraded both of your positions back. Like just because you went from Zeke and Darnold to Lawrence, then down to Tannehill and Gibson.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, I take away any hesitancy I had before whatsoever. It's the Lawrence side.
Sometimes I think what this trade can also show is that even if you don't like the players coming back to you, if the value is still there, it still makes sense to just take the trade and then make the moves later on to get to where you want to be.
Assuming you're in a league that is active enough to reasonably do this. If you're in a league that, trades like once a year, then you have to wait for the right move. But if you're in a normal league or a league that actually enjoys having fun, the very few times I'll league shame is when you have a boring league, because what's the point of it then? If you're in a league that is a couple of trades even a year, I do this just because there's gonna be someone who sees that shiny toy in Trevor Lawrence and wants him.
Yeah 100%. So just this is obviously it's an easy one, but even if you don't like Trevor Lawrence,
go for it.
Just take the value, then flip him.
Yeah, like even if you're like you were, Fields is just as good as Trevor Lawrence, go get Fields plus, man. I mean, you
Dude, you could trade Trevor Lawrence for Justin Fields and Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, right. Getting sweaty thinking about it. No, I'm not. All right, so let's get to my favorite part of the show: horrible trades. This is a bad one. All right, so 12-team Superflex with a 1.5 tight end premium. We have Zeke Elliott for Melvin Gordon, Tyler Higbee, and Darius Slayton. Man, even if you made that Kadarius Toney, it don't make it any better. But man, okay, so Zeke at 435.9, and just the total of the other side, we're gonna take away the package adjustment because that's just not fair. You get 156.7. That ain't good.
Yay. This is so bad.
I mean, man, okay, so let's hold on. If you made that, would you do Zeke for Javonte Williams, Tyler Higbee, and Kadarius Toney? Like, let's take those two guys and make the better versions of them.
No. Well, I don't think you changed anything going from Slayton to Kadarius Toney, but that's just me.
There's a little bit more. You know,
if you made it Javonte Williams, Kenny Golladay, and Tyler Higbee, I'd be a lot more interested.
Yes. You know, that's why I didn't go that far.
Yeah.
Like,
this is bad. This is after the draft as well. This wasn't like something that I just like cherry picked before the NFL draft when people thought maybe Melvin Gordon would survive and you'd get an RB1 out of him. And your Tyler Higbee at the 1.5 tight end premium, you're just no.
All right, we need to move on to this next one because I just saw what it was and it hurt my soul.
This one I kind of cherry picked this a little bit, but like I said this was bad before, but it's a lot worse now. So this is kind of just honestly just going to be us sympathizing, you know, for this.
Oh, okay, it's still bad. Okay, so 12-team Superflex tight end premium, and in parentheses, bad before the Akers injury, way worse now. All right,
this was before the Akers. This trade was made before the Akers injury.
Okay, let's just ask you right now, would you rather have Zeke or Cam Akers?
Zeke.
Yeah. Okay, just getting that out of the way. Because this trade is Zeke and Allen Robinson for Cam Akers and Adam Thielen. How dare you disrespect Allen Robinson like this? Take Zeke out. Like, how dare you? Allen Robinson. I love that guy. Yeah, I don't even know what your goal is because, yeah, you got really young at running back, but Adam Thielen's twice the age of everyone else on the other side. Like, okay, yes, hyperbole, but like,
yeah,
I got nothing. Nothing. This is a trade of like, I think Cam Akers is going to be the RB1, so I'm going to be smart and pay up for him.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's still not how you do it. If that's how you do it, you just trade Zeke for Akers and walk away thinking that you got the better player in the end. But that's not what you did. You had to involve Allen Robinson in this. It's not right. It's not right.
That's why I said this trade was made before the Akers injury, but in my opinion, it was still bad because the difference between Zeke and Cam Akers a month ago was not Allen Robinson.
No.
So, and then obviously now, this is just really bad.
And right now,
really bad.
I mean, I'm assuming this is nowadays values on the analyzer. There's Allen Robinson at 302 and Cam Akers at 288. Just saying.
So you're saying now, I mean, this is still even because the DLF, the analyzer
takes trades into account, right?
But it also the ADP is still heavy. So this is still going off of July ADP where Cam Akers was a borderline top 5 running back. So he's going to take a massive hit in analyzer value whenever August comes out, because if you want to, like, his overall rank from DLF rankings is 70 overall. So if you want to put ADP down there, this probably cuts that down in his value in half. And you're talking about, you know,
you want to guess where he went?
700. Where he went in yours?
In that mock I'm doing, yeah.
It was Superflex?
1 QB.
Oh, one. Okay. Well, 1 QB, 7th round.
703. Good call.
Hey.
Shout out to Shane Manila, who's the one that took him there. Yeah, this hurts my soul for many, many reasons. It's just not right.
This one does suck. And what's even worse, honestly, and what I really feel bad for, this happened in a DLF Champions Cup in not my division and like not my league, so I was very happy about that. But like, this could swing that league's format and stuff pretty heavily.
Oh yeah, especially because every year matters when you get points.
Yeah, and in this 3-year window, depending on who got Zeke and A-Rob, like that's gonna be Yeah, that sucks. So if you're in league like 4, I think it was league 004 of the DLF Champions Cup, you have to watch now for this guy has had a major win in a trade just from
What am I
luck
in?
a little
I'm
bit.
in
and
24.
happenstance.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Not me. All right. Well, on this sour, sad note, this has been the DLF Trade Show. Your host, Russ Fisher at Dynasty Outhouse. Your host, Addison Hayes at Hayes _. And we will catch you next time. I already said the DLF Trade Show, but I'm going to say it again because that's the title of the show we're on. Bye, everybody.